It's March 16, 2015. And so that's the kind of thing that this government's been doing. And while, it's something to cling to, some kind of desperate hope to think, oh yeah, maybe it's all worth it. I'm doing such an important job. I just have to try not to feel so much pain. And shoving that kind of nonsense crap down your throat. And sometimes literally crap, because I had crap, like dog crap and human crap, pushed into my mouth and throat. That was just one of many things that this government did to me. Because you can help us save a lot of lives. All their bull crap. So in reality, what they were doing is just finding a way to keep me quiet. Because they didn't like me. They didn't care about me. They didn't love me. They didn't care if I died. While they were coming up with their programming schemes for kidnapping my kids and having me raped, they were also coming up with programming schemes that they used to try to have me commit suicide and to be killed in auto accidents that looked like accidents but weren't accidents. And Judge Gillespie was part of one of those programming schemes to have me feel like killing myself. It was like a suicide one. It wasn't. I don't remember that it was a car brake failure one. But and I don't really remember that part of it as much. But anyway, so here he was, and we have this big scene going down, being played out, basically. And when someone said, before I met Gillespie, who's definitely a government worker, when someone used to say to me, so there's some shit going down, or this is going down, they used to say it like in New York style. What it meant was like there's some business going down, like kind of like there's gossip, there's news that's important, there's things that are going down. It wasn't like going down like being a sniper, you got to get down. And it wasn't like someone's getting killed or they're getting killed or something like that. It was like a phrase to say there's a lot of gossip and a lot of news that's going down and it's affecting a lot of people, that kind of thing. Hey, there's shit going down. I mean, people know what I'm talking about. Who know what I'm talking about. They know what I'm talking about. And so I went from that kind of hearing about, shit going down, or they didn't really put it down like, they didn't say it like that. They never really said shit going down. They used to say there's something going down, or something. They'd say it like that. They didn't actually swear a ton. There were some kinds of groups that did do a lot of swearing, but the mafia ones didn't always swear a lot, So anyway, but they say there's something going down. So all of a sudden I'm in Judge Gillespie's bed, and then he's saying, he said, do you know what going down is? As he was making me, pulling off his like underwear or something, or exposing himself, and then saying, or wait, for that specific thing, he was, although I did, I believe, see him at some point. For that situation, he was making me expose myself. And he was saying that, he said, do you know what going down is? And I said, no. So what do you mean? And this lighting is getting really dark, but I guess you still sort of see my face, so. Anyway, I said, well, what do you mean? And he said, well, he said when you go down on someone sexually, he said, you know what oral sex is, and he started giving different phrases and words for it. And I said, oh yeah, okay, yeah, I know what that is. And he said, well, he said when Mike Tanzer, who was this little boy who was actually had been a baby that I babysat, you know, because I had been asked to babysit him when he was a baby. But then at that time, he wasn't a baby anymore. He was more of a little boy. And Gillespie was saying, while this tape recorder was running, so Mike he said, when Mike's going down on you, so you're going to know, then you'll really know you're fucked up. He said, then you'll really know you're fucked. And he used the name Howard a couple times. And I started wondering, like, why is he bringing up this other person's name that doesn't seem to have anything to do, it has not my name, doesn't have anything to do with me. And who is he really talking to? Because he's almost acting like he's making these tapes for someone else. Like, not about our practicing acting, but like he's making threats or threatening someone about something that's going to happen in the future to me. And as it turned out, you know, I can't prove that that's what he was doing, but that's what I thought at the time. I thought he was very insidious. He acted very nice. I actually liked him a lot. He was one of my favorite government persons for a long time because he was nicer than most of them, most of the time. He was good with kids, actually, to some degree, or with youth. And I got attention from him. I felt like I was cared for, that kind of thing. So then to see this insidious side to him, where he was basically kind of passive aggressively relishing the idea of something bad happening to me, and then putting it on tape, I realized there's something really bad. There's something really bad going on here. And I started to get nervous or something. I don't remember how everything wrapped up and ended up, but I think he sensed that I was getting nervous, and I said maybe something like I didn't want to do that anymore, I didn't want to go to his house anymore. So then they started kind of panicking. And then later it's like all the judges are raping me and frying my brain. And but I thought to myself, it's almost like he's putting this statement on tape because he's making a prediction of what's going to happen in the future. And he wants this person, whoever this person is, to hear it and to feel really bad about it because of something that might be done to me. If they do this to me later down the road, it's really going to upset someone. And a lot of people, like men and government people, are going to feel like they really got one over, you know, this Howard person or whoever this person was that they were making the tapes for. He made a lot of tapes. And so I started to realize this guy's not my friend. I thought he was my friend, you know, and hard to have an adult friend as a kid, but I did think he was my friend. And he was just setting me up to be raped. To be triggered to say what he wanted me to say in court so that he could kidnap any baby I ever had. As far as I knew, he worked for the FBI because that's how he acted. He acted like an FBI employee. And some of the questions and questionnaires he would give to me different times, they were much more like FBI. I was getting interrogated about stuff, things about Russia, different things. You know, it's just like FBI stuff. And so then later, you know, I've already described what happened with Mike Tanzer, but after all of these people over in Coquille had made me, as a minor and a preteen, do this pole dancing as they shouted at me to get down and all of that, they were making fun of me when and there's a song called, you know, it goes Get Low, and it's actually based off of a song that I was that I came up with in my bedroom. I started making up a song, and then I'm going to move this over a little bit because it really is getting a little bit dark. Because I was making up a song. I was making up a song in my room. You know, I made up tons of songs, and I incorporated a whole bunch of different sequences into it, like a whole bunch of different phrases and sayings, and that's how I wrote some of my music. And I used to sing it in my bedroom, and I remember thinking, I hope my dad's getting mad, because I was mad at him, you know, for some things. And I was mad at some of them over there for some things. So I started making up this song, and it was called, I was naming it Get Low. And I basically did what a lot of people did, you know, who are black slaves, or probably anyone, any country, who's any color, who's been oppressed and can't speak freely, sometimes creating something that has another meaning. And for me, talking about Get Low was partly to do with Stacy Lowe, this woman that I had been introduced to, and partly to do with being, you know, sniper work and that kind of thing. But it was also a way to help me remember other things and other meanings that it had. So, anyway, I would sing the song, and then all of a sudden the government gave it to someone, because they surveilled my house and gave everything that I did over to someone else. And the song that came out of it was Get Low by Little John or whatever. And it's 369. Give it to me, sock it to me one more time. Get low. Get low. And 369 was prefixed to my phone number at the time, because I was in the area. And I lived in Coquille, and the phone numbers that were landline numbers over here were like 541 numbers or something. I don't know if it was always 541, but 369 was one of the prefixes to the rest of the numbers. So it could be like 541, 369, you know, 5272, that kind of thing. And I knew Stacy Lowe's phone number by memory because I was staying at her apartment, you know, and she was like telling me to do all these things, buying this. She was definitely in with the Middletons. She really was like, I thought she was getting paid off by the Middletons, actually, because she acted like she hated me. She did some sexual things to me too, like lesbian stuff. But I also thought, you know, she acts like she hates me. Like she really resented me, and just kind of mean-spirited all of a sudden. And like she wanted to do me in somehow. And she was part of this group that was really promoting Kate Middleton. And how she knew the Middletons, or like how her work corresponded to Kate Middleton. You know, Kate Middleton was a little girl at the time, so her work would have corresponded, if anything, to her parents' work. But I guess if she just figured she's going to be a royal one day, maybe Stacy wanted to be part of this royal train that they wanted to keep on the tracks, basically. So I knew her phone number by heart because I had been having to stay with her some of the time at her apartment. And so one day, you know, Judge Gillespie was saying, "Now, what's Stacy's number again? What's Lowe's number?" He called her Lowe. You know, typically when someone says, "What's Lowe's number?" Sometimes that's a military kind of thing, because you call people by their last names, not first names.